Hello, friends. Welcome back to The Creative Mind. I am your host, Byron Craig, and today we are in for Hollywood royalty.
Oh,
she is, or was, Gabby on All American Homecoming. She is an actress. You've probably seen her in a whole bunch of other things. I saw her on, I think it was a Mint Dentistry ad.
You saw her?
I did see that. So, she's everywhere, people. But you know what? I know her as my friend. And she was at my Church of Connect group. She taught me stuff for a long, long time.
Just a little something.
Just a little something. Period. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome my good friend, Heather Harris.
Hi, yay. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. If I sound congested, my eyes look low. It's purely because your girl is fighting for her life and not because of anything else. Don't ever get it twisted. But I'm super excited to be here, that we finally get to do this. And I'm just happy that you asked me and that we get to talk about all the things.
I'm so grateful. I tell everybody this, but I really do appreciate you doing this. I know that what you have to say is going to help somebody else on their acting journey or just in their life journey.
I hope it does. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name. There's no hope into it. I know you. So, I know it's going to. It's always uplifting.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into who is Heather Harris?
Who am I?
Who are you? Tell the world. People know you, but they may not know you, but they know you.
Right. Like, who is she?
Who is this lady?
Well, first and foremost, I am a human being. I am a child of God.
Hey.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
I'm a Black woman. Okay. And yeah, I'm literally just a girl trying to figure it out, trying my best to achieve all these crazy faith dreams that God showed me when I was 3 years old, just out here trying to get it like everybody else living in this economy in America, trying to make lemons out of lemonade. And
of course.
Yeah, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm an actress. What else? I'll be doing stuff. I'll be serving in my community,
Hey,
I get to be a part of an amazing organization, the Single Day Sorority Incorporated.
Hey.
And I'm a daughter and a sister and a cousin and a friend. And a niece. So yeah, I get to do all these things in life. And I don't think that one tops the other.
For sure.
So, yeah. But above all else, I'm literally just a girl. I'm just a girl.
There's a song I'm just
a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting in a Capitol Hill. Yeah.
Oh, you taking it back to Schoolhouse Rock. I was thinking of some Gwen Stefani, maybe No Doubt song.
Yes, my bad. That's literally what I see where our minds are, where we differentiate here, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's all right. I would like to know more about this 3-year-old. What did you see when you were 3? What did the good Lord show you?
Well, so the gag is, if he did show me something, I don't remember it because I have a horrible memory. I've had a major concussion. Child, I don't remember nothing. But my mom told me that when I was 3 years old, I told them that I wanted to be a superstar. And so ever since then, they've done everything in their power to make sure that I could have opportunities to achieve that goal, to achieve that dream. I also said I wanted to be the president of the United States. I said a lot of things. So
of course,
why they honed in on the superstar thing has to be God. But from then on, my parents put me in dance classes and I was in the drama ministry at church. Any opportunity I had to sing or to dance, my dad was throwing me up on the stage, telling me perform. And I was doing my daddy said, because I'm a daddy's girl.
Hey.
And yeah, any opportunity that I had to be on stage, I didn't care what I was doing so long as I was on stage getting to like, connect with people or make people laugh or smile or cry or have some type of positive impact that would change their lives. Like that is what I knew I wanted to be doing. So yeah, yeah.
I love that. You just knew from early on you wanted to just take over the world.
I mean, type flag security, what do you say? You type flag security of the world, Craig.
Of the world, Craig. Of the world. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So, but I feel like that's what's kept me on this journey, like remembering that. Um, like I even have like a picture of my younger self on my screensaver because whenever like adult Heather gets really weary and tired and like, annoyed with the nose and the weight and the burden of this journey, I remind myself like, no, like she saw this, she wanted this, she spoke this into existence. Like I feel like God speaks to me through like me saying it out loud. Like I'm not necessarily like a person that like will see stuff. Like I have dreams, but like sometimes I be forgetting them, and I'm trying to do better about writing them down for my mama. But like God speaks to me through it just coming out of my mouth. So like the fact that she said that, or that I said that at that young age when I could have said anything, I probably said multiple things. But then the fact that my parents here on earth, came into alignment with this one thing and said, yeah, that's what you're going to do.
We gonna
And
pursue this vision through and through. No matter what happens, it's gonna happen. We gonna make it happen.
it's going to happen. And here we are, however many years later.
However many years later.
However
So
many years.
so I know this because my fiance went to Booker T. You went to Booker T. Washington.
I did. Booker T. Washington High School for Performing and Visual Arts.
There you go. See? You gotta say the whole title. Booker T. Washington.
You can't put it out, darling. You cannot. You must. You must. Go pick a side.
What was that experience like for you?
Being at Booker T, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Child, let me tell you something about Booker T. Those who can't, don't do it. And those who can, do what they can do. What I mean by that, even though it really didn't make sense, was that like, even though I had all of these gifts, I like was in the dance. Child, what did we even used to call it back then? They've changed it since then.
Have they really?
Yes, they've changed it. And I was so livid. Like, do they still call it clusters? Yes, I was in the dance cluster when I was there. But funny enough, I didn't want to go to Booker T. Like,
really?
I did not. I was like hell bent on not going to Booker T, which so like, I don't know, cocky, whatever of me, because you have to audition to get into the dang school to begin with. And so I remember in middle school, I was that girl, okay? Like I was on student council. I was captain of the cheerleading team. I was running track, playing basketball, doing competition dance, all this other stuff. And I really wanted to focus on track. And they were going to have me start on the varsity team my freshman year with track. Yeah, I was that girl. Like I was really like that. Like, me and Shakari, we would have been those girls, but I let her have it. Actually, no, she probably smoked me, but it's fine. Listen. So anyway, I remember telling my parents, like, no, like I want to stay at Life School where I went in Oak Cliff. It's a charter school. And they were like, no, you're going to Booker T. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, but you have to audition to get in there. Like, you don't know if I'm going to get in. And my mom was like, you're getting in. And I was like, okay. And like, charge it to like my mom's crazy faith that she had, where it was just like she says stuff and then like it happens. And mind you, like I said, I was doing competition dance. So I've been doing competition dance from like the 3rd grade, all the way up to 8th grade. And I was ready to be done. Like I was going to stop dancing and fully be committed to sports and all the other stuff that I was doing. And Mama Harris said, absolutely not. Not what you're doing. And I went to that audition, did the audition, the 2-day process, whatever, got called back. I got put on the waiting list. And mind you, like that was it was a big deal. That whole process of getting into Booker T was a huge deal because you had people lying about their addresses and all the other stuff, trying to get in. And I remember one of the girls on my dance team, her and my mom were talking, and her mom was like, "How do you know that Heather's gonna get in?" Because my mom was trying to talk to her. She was like, "Yeah, so when the girls get in, we're gonna carpool and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that." And she was like, "But they they're on the wait list. Like they haven't even like, got accepted, or who knows what's gonna happen. People don't get off for years and years." And my mom was like, "I'm not worried about it. Do you want to plan the carpool or not?" And sure enough, what my mother said came true.
Hey.
And we both, were accepted into Booker T. And it was a wonderful experience. I got to meet some amazing people. And even though I did not continue with dance, it gave me a lot of the fundamentals and the foundation that I have work ethic wise. And like I got to do like African dance, which is like what I specialized in, and like folklorico
Okay. Okay.
and modern, and work with like all these amazing like pioneers, or not pioneers, but like really masters of their craft
Yeah.
in dance. And so I loved it. I enjoyed it. And the same way I was running things in middle school, I was running things at Booker T.
Hey.
Ask about me. But it was a wonderful time, and I don't regret it. A lot of people, I feel like some people have asked me like, well, why didn't you do theater? And it was just like, theater is what I did on the side. Like I did theater at church, like I knew what I kind of wanted to do, um, but like acting was something that like I did in drama ministry,
Yeah.
like, but because when I went to Booker T my freshman year, I got to meet my mentor there, whose daughter went there, who's in the theater department, and he did these really big plays, like professional plays with like all these, Black Hollywood actors and
Yeah.
actresses, stuff like that. And so he was putting on a play called High School Drama, and my mother made me audition again.
Shout out Mama Harris.
Mama Harris, okay, my momager, because it involves singing, and I was
Okay.
like, I only sing at church because, again, if we circle back, like I said, those who like at Booker T, if you can't sing, you can't sing. Like just shh, be quiet. And if you can't dance, then you can't dance. And if you can't draw, then you can't draw. Like it's like Jill Scott. If you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can
Yeah.
tell me what to do, it's like one of those things. So it was
Okay.
just like this gift that I had packaged up, and I would only release at church and choir. And my mom made me audition for it. And lucky enough for me, his daughter was like, like I didn't have the strongest voice at that time. Not that I can sing, but to be able to carry like a show type
For sure.
deal. And she was like, no, like this girl has something. And so he ended up booking me in it, and like changed it to where like I was rapping instead. And um he was actually going to cancel the show the night before we were supposed to go on, because people was raggedy. They ain't had any lines. Not me. Not me. Ready. They didn't put lines together. But we ended up, still going through with it, and it was a phenomenal show. And I remember that was the moment. There's a monologue that I have on stage, and I started crying. I'd done that monologue so many times, and I started like sobbing while I was doing it on stage. And I was like, wow, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And so from then on, um, I was able to dance and act at the
Yeah.
same time. And so shout out to Booker T for allowing me the opportunity to do that.
How old were you when that happened?
Oh my heavens. I was 14, I want to say 14.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe 14.
It's like
Yeah.
a freshman.
Yeah, this was my freshman year. This is
Okay.
my freshman year. Mm-hmm.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, because my hair was cut really bad. Really bad. It was very bad. It was not. The pictures are on Facebook. We're gonna leave them there. But yes, it was really.
So you mean I can't make that 14-year-old picture the thumbnail for this YouTube video?
And not, I will actually sue you for defamation of character if you do that.
Oh, come on.
Don't do that, because who I was then is not who I am now.
Hey, this is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who don't know, because we just sitting here talking about Booker T. For those who don't know, Booker T. Washington is a wonderful, wonderful school. Is it a magnet school?
It's a magnet school.
All right. It's a magnet school here in Dallas, Texas. The
Yeah.
likes of Nora Jones and Erica Baidu and so many other very famous people have gone there, a la like the wonderful Heather Harris, who's here right now with us. We got to add her name next to Erica Baidu.
No, it's just like, because Erica Baidu was in the dance cluster as well.
I did know that.
Yes. So get into it.
I did. I went to Booker T. Washington's 100-year birthday.
Did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We all went, and like Erica performed and everything. I was like, and just to see the amount of people like who one went there, but two, like the famous faces from there, I was like, yeah, okay.
Okay, Booker T.
I didn't see you, but you wasn't in that video. But
let's just say I was working. My parents were there. I didn't know about it. I'm sure they'll invite me for the next one.
Will you be alive in 200 years?
I actually hope that I'm not. Like, that just would just be really ridiculous. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to die young, but like, if I'm still 200, absolutely not. Immediately not. Like, I'm gonna need help going to the bathroom. Like, we're just not doing that. We're just not doing that. But maybe like 150 years. I could be there. I could be there at the 150. I think.
I would like my goal, the pinnacle, 120. That's it.
That'd be good. That'd be real good.
There's that documentary on Netflix about that guy who wants to live forever.
Haven't seen it.
Oh no, he does like blood transfusions and stuff from like young people. So he gets like really youthful, really healthy people, and then just transfuses their blood. You've never heard of this?
No.
That's what white people do. Really rich white people.
I would say it sound like.
It's some of their mess.
Yes, it sounds very, because here's the thing: when it's time to go, it's time. I'm not about to be doing all that. Let's not even talk about the state of our economy right now? But if Jesus
talk about it,
if Jesus come back tomorrow, I ain't gonna be mad at him. I ain't gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be upset. It's time to go.
I'd only be a little upset because then no one would ever see this.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Because it's recorded like a couple weeks before it comes out.
It is. Yay.
Yeah, it's not like it's coming out tomorrow. No. But I mean, that'd be nice, but that'd be a lot of work. Anyway, I don't have a team yet. When I have a team, then we'll get it.
You are the team.
You
are. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I tell people all the time, I do have a team. We're just understaffed right now. So it's team in here. Okay. So it's great. But there is a team.
There is a team. You know what? You right. I'm gonna start saying that. I got a team. We are severely understaffed.
You are. And they're gonna come. Like, that's one of the things that I did during the pandemic. Like, I didn't know nothing about what a manager, agent, like none of that. I don't know what any of that was. But when I tell you, I was up in my prayer, well, not a prayer closet. Let's call it the prayer sauna. But praying. Because my dad built a sauna in the backyard before everything happened. Yeah, which is very convenient. Shout out to Heath Harris. And so I would go in there and I would pray every morning after I would work out, and I would pray over like my managers and my agents and my assistants and my PR and my castmates and the writers and directors and all the things. And surely enough, every time that God has added to my team, I tell them, like, I pray for you. Like, I've been praying for you. And I'm so excited that I get to finally meet you.
I love that. I'm going to start doing that. That's really wonderful. I love that. That's a really smart thing to do.
Get into it. Because they're coming. Like, they're coming.
Of course.
And, I would pray over their families. I'd be like, whatever's going on, Lord, I pray that you will heal, cover, provide for whatever that they need. And also that I would do whatever I needed to do so that, we could step into that season together. Like, my worst fear is that I not be doing what I'm supposed to be doing and that negatively affect someone else, or it hold up someone else's blessings, because because I'm praying for you, but you praying that I do what I need to do, and I ain't did what I needed to do yet.
Mm.
So I'll be like, Lord, if there's anything that I need to do so that we can get the ball, going, so that those who are connected to me can be blessed and unlock their blessings, let me do it.
Mm.
Let me do it. Because they can't come if I don't have anything for them to be assigned to.
Yep. I love that. That's super intentional. That's intentional thought. Like, not just because I feel like a lot of people only think in the moment and then maybe just like a little bit ahead. I feel
Yeah.
weird because like I'm like the person who's like, in like 10 years, I want to be here and and everyone's like, why are you thinking so far? I'm like, cause I have to dream it so that it can come.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to see it. You got to see it even when you can't see it, And that doesn't mean that like you don't serve the present. Excuse me, that you don't serve the present the way that you're supposed to, like um but it just means that like you have crazy faith to like believe and know that like this isn't it, like there's more. God has more, and whatever that more is, let me be able to like visualize what I can so that he can like blow my mind. Because anything that I've ever like prayed about or promises that I feel like he's given me, he has always like superseded those things
Mm.
and gone above and beyond. Um, and so I leave room for him, but I'd be like, Lord, this would be nice, because I would really like a fireplace in my office one day.
Okay.
God, no. God, no. He knows the intricate details of the things that like we want and all those things. And also, when we are aiming towards these things, it's important for us to like, say it out loud or, write the revelation and make it plain. Because we have to remember what we're working towards. So when we're going through different trials and obstacles and God is trying to prune stuff out of us along the way, you can't get mad. I can't be mad that
Yep.
God is trying to wake me up at 4:30 in the morning every day when I
Ooh.
said I wanted to be a series regular who has a call time at 5 a.m. I can't be mad at that man because he's like, listen, I'm trying to prepare you for what you said that you wanted, you
Mm.
know? And so I think that's why it's important to, write it down. Like vision boards give me anxiety.
Why?
They do because like, I just and like they give me anxiety. Like it took me like 5 years to make one, and that one, like I put everything I could think of on that
Yeah.
board, and then I also left room for God to do whatever He wanted to do. I prefer prayer boards just because I feel like it's more like it's like, you know what, God, um, you know what, if this is what you would like to do, cool. These are things. These are the things that are on my heart, the desires of my heart. And, if you want to do that, amen. And like, if you don't, then I know
Right.
that you're something better. But I think me and vision boards started having like, I think it happened in college because God changed all of my plans
Mm.
and feelings really bad. And so I was just like, oh, well, I'm just not gonna plan nothing ever again. There you go. Period.
Is
Since you
this
want to do it, since you want to have it all, Lord, I'm just gonna go with the flow. I ain't gonna plan nothing no more.
was that in regards to sports in college?
No, so in college, technically I got into college for dance, and I like literally went to orientation that first week and meeting with my advisor, and I was like or she had this whole schedule laid out for me. It was very cute. Very cutesy, very demure. And I told her, I said, yeah, so I don't want to dance anymore. And she said, shout out to Beth Shekel, wonderful white woman. She was like, oh, okay, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I think I want to do acting. Like, I think I want to give it a try and see if I want to, change my major. And luckily for me, the acting and dancing college were all in the same
Mm.
department. Like it was in the same college. So it was the College of Visual and Performing Arts. They had just joined together. And so she was like, you can do this class and it'll still count to your degree plan. So you're not losing any time. And I was like, bet, let's do it, girl. And she rearranged my schedule, had
Mm.
some acting classes in there. And I had acting classes with the head of acting and with the like the chair, like basically the top dogs
Yeah.
of the department. And I got bit by the bug. I got bit and I changed my major because I stopped doing sports in middle school because Booker T ain't
Okay.
got sports. We undefeated in football for a reason because we ain't got no sports. Okay. We ain't got no sports. Dance is sport, okay. But yeah, I stopped doing that back then. So everything was dance for me. So the fact that like I was like gung ho about it again, because like I said in
Yeah.
8th grade, I said I was done. And my mama said no, which shout out to my parents, for having discernment because their belief was that your gift will make room for you. And so one gift will take you to that next place and that gift will take you to the next place. And so dance did that for me with acting and acting's going to do that with whatever God, has me do. Like it's done that for, with me doing YouTube or like even with me wanting to write and direct, like it's just all a building block that God has used. And so when I was in college, I focused all my things in on acting and it was wonderful and it was great. And I was running that thing too. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I never ran anything.
For the people who just listen to this podcast, you have to watch it because like her facial expressions are the best.
Listen, I've been told that my voice is very soothing, but the space
It
makes
gives
my
life.
it does. It does. When you see me, because you see him. And when you see him, you see me.
Hey.
So but yeah. So that's what me and sports, we were done. And I went full acting.
But you said like God took it. Like, what did he take?
He took it.
You said I made like a plan and then he like rearranged and like took it.
Okay, so boom. So let's talk about it. So here's what happened. So I had found myself having a little boyfriend or whatever.
No, little boyfriend.
Listen.
Little friendly friend.
Listen. When you talk about somebody who went through hell and back, I went through hell and back with this little friend. And against my parents' better judgment, I was with that man, that boy. And so anyway, that was a very toxic, intimate partner violence type of relationship that,
wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. I was even just talking about it on my TikTok live because we talk about everything on there. And I was telling them like all the things and even some of like my cousins and my friends, they hop on my live. They were like, yeah, we never knew.
Yeah.
Because I never told anyone. But because of that relationship, he was a felon. So where I was going, he was never going to be able to go. And I was trying to shape my life to be an adjacent with his life. So I was like, oh, well, I'm going to graduate college early, like 2 years early. Why would I do that? Right. Why would I do that? But here's the thing. When I put my mind to something, it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. And so I had this full plan to graduate. Was it like a year and a half early or something like that? I was going to move back to Dallas so that I could go to Dallas Baptist University and like get whatever master's program and all this other stuff. Like I had a plan, but then I also knew that like that wasn't who I was going to marry and who I was going to be with. There was just a very strategic way that God was going to have to, separate us just because of the dynamics. And it's my first love type deal. But I had created my life to like match his. And so sure enough, like I said, I love planning. Like I actually love planning. I was talking to my therapist about this because get into therapy, but I love planning.
Facts, people.
Get into therapy. Get you one. Get it. But I loved planning. Like my whole class schedule, I had that thing written out. She didn't even have to do nothing for me because I had everything ready to go. She loved when I came to her office. We would just be yapping it up. But as that relationship started to, end and come to a close as it needed to, I was like, oh, well, I guess I don't have to do 21 hours this semester. I guess I can just do 15, 19, whatever. Like I was on it. I did one semester, I did 21 hours. I was in 2 plays. I had a job. Like,
ma'am, that's wild.
I was insane. But I loved it. I loved it. I ate it up. Something about that. I just ate it up. Like I thrive off of routine. I thrive off of stability. I thrive off of like having a plan of action. And so anyway, when that relationship ended, thank God, oh Lord Jesus, and that's a whole other story for a whole other day on TikTok. But once it ended, I was like, oh, I can take my time. Let me take my time. What am I rushing for? And so slowly but surely, like, I started taking less classes. And at this point I was involved in this organization called Collegiate 100. So I was serving at the Boys and Girls Club. Like I just got to take my time and really find out who I was and what I wanted to do. I got me a new boo,
Hey.
like my college sweetheart. Shout out to him, even though we're not together no more.
Hey, shout out to you, sir, wherever you are in this world.
Yeah, it's like not too much.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. We don't like you that much.
Funny enough, today is like would have actually been our anniversary, which is so hilarious.
Snap.
It's so funny. Like the things that like you forget that you never thought that you could live without. And look at God allowed me to like
thrive. You thriving, girl. You thriving.
But yeah, so after that, I was just like, okay, God, like, bet I'll take my time. And part of the reason why I went to Texas Tech was because my parents went there. My parents met there. And my dad is from Lubbock. So my grandparents were there. A lot of my family still lives in Lubbock. So I had a big support system out there. And I wanted to be a kid, like I wanted, like going to Booker T, you don't get to go to the football games and like have like the traditional school spirit and all that stuff. And so I really wanted that. I had the option of either going to Tech, Howard, they didn't get back to me in enough time. They be on CP time. Or AMDA, which is a conservatory. And I was like, you know what? No, like I want to go in the direction of legacy. I want to go in the direction that, allows me really just to live my life while I can and be a kid. And so that's what I did. That's what I did at Tech. And I wanted to, join the sorority I'm part of now, but they had their stuff going on. And that was a really big disappointment for me. Not being able to like cross at my mom's chapter like that, that really broke me down. Because I was like trying to make all these plans that allow me to stay at Tech longer until like they came back. Because like I said, like, because I was so far ahead by my junior year, like I was good. I really like I could have graduated, what was it, December 2018 or January, one of those. Like I could have been up out of there, but I spread it all out, because I was starting to live this new life and enjoying what I was learning acting wise and discovering about myself and starting my channel and getting to serve with these kids in the community. Like I was really enjoying myself. But I knew that like, that's what I really wanted to do. And so when that didn't happen, I was really disappointed with God. And I was trying to come up with another alternative plan for how I could stay at Tech longer to be able to fulfill that part of my dream. And this all ties into acting, so I'm gonna make it make sense. But so my last semester, senior year, find out that's not gonna happen. I think the fall semester, because they were doing renovations to our college, like to our building, normally we would have auditions every semester, like for whatever plays we were having that year, but they only did it at the beginning of the fall for the whole year because we were going to have to be on location. So I had to make a choice of whether or not I was going to audition and, be in whatever plays. And, if they did have an opportunity for me to join, just deal with it as it came, or choose not to do it and just leave my schedule open for what I was promised at the time was going to happen with this organization. And God is so funny because he just be using everything. He'd be like, oh, girl, that's real cute. That's real cute. And so sure enough, not only, thank you. Sorry.
Sorry, people.
I'm like, I tried to put it on Do Not Disturb. I don't understand, Apple. When I say don't disturb, I mean don't disturb. I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not. I digress. So anyway, child, y'all know I don't want you. So anyway, all these things happen. I choose not to audition. So I'm not in any plays or anything else that I can add to my resume because I'm graduating and leaving. The plan is for me to graduate spring 2019. So with me not being in any plays my senior year, that was like no bueno because then I don't have any recent work when I'm starting to audition in the real world. And they're like, what's the last thing you did? And I'm like, oh, it was in 2018. They're like, that was a long time ago. So I made the sacrifice to not set myself up for success in my career because of, this opportunity with joining this organization. So anyway, I don't get to perform my senior year. I don't get to join the organization because because the president's getting to a fight. It's a whole thing. Child, it was a lot. But doesn't happen. And so spring semester comes around and I'm like, Lord, what am I going to do? Like, I made this choice and now I feel like I didn't set myself up for success. Maybe I'll just stay. I'll stay. I'll pick up like, instead of having a BFA in acting, I'll change it to like, I don't know. I don't even know what it was that I was going to do, but I had a whole plan. I had it laid out and I was going to pick up educational this and the psychology that and whatever and make it do what it do just so that I could stay at Tech. And I remember I found out that I was the top of my class in my college. And so I got to be the banner bearer. I got to be the banner bearer. And if you don't know nothing about that banner bearer, the banner bearer is only, people who have like top 3 GPAs in their college. And so I was one of the 3. And something happened with the person that was number 1. So don't ever be discouraged by not being number 1 because they can still call on you, honey. They can still call on you. And so anyway, child, all these things happen. And they ended up emailing me, asking me if I wanted the opportunity. And I ended up emailing them after much prayer. And I was like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to graduate. Y'all should give it to someone else. I don't want to hold up your stuff, right?
Of course.
And I remember 30 minutes after that, I'm listening to this sermon by Stephen Furtick. And I hear God say through him, you're thinking too small. And I was like, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I started sobbing. And so I went back to my phone. I said, okay, God, whatever you want to do. Like, I'm not going to make room for something that you don't want in my life. Like, if God wants something to happen in your life, he will make room for it. You don't have to make no concessions. You ain't got to hold no spots. You ain't got to do none of that. He will make it happen. And I emailed them and I was like, hey, not sure if y'all have already gone with someone else. But I've decided I'm going to graduate. So let me know. And they emailed me right back and they were like, no, we just saw your email. We're so excited you decided to do it. Boom, boom, whatever. And I graduated that semester.
Oh.
No plan. And I got to, do the banner bearer. And the crazy thing is that next year, what happened? COVID. So not only would I not have gotten to be the banner bearer, I wouldn't have gotten to walk across stage. And I dang for sure wouldn't have got to be a part of that organization because no one was on campus. Yeah. So that was the ultimate lesson that God taught me that I still carry to this day, that I'm not going to make room for anything he doesn't want by, my might. Whatever he wants to do, he will do it. And I just have to keep doing what he told me to do last. So that is what ultimately led me to being able to be in my Lifetime movies and be in Homecoming and all of the things, because I listened and I had that discernment and I stopped thinking small. Yeah.
Wow. What a story.
That was such a whirlwind. I know.
That was a lot, but it was so inspirational because like from the point of being in an abusive relationship, ending that abusive relationship, going into like not like slowing down, like telling yourself, hey, I can slow down. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to be like, go, go, go. And I think for a lot of people, rest is a word that no one really knows.
Right.
It's so hard to rest. Who rests? And I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm just laying in my bed, because you can be doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. I'm talking about solely no phone, maybe some like soothing music, and you just kind of just staring at the ceiling, kind of just here.
Yeah. Yep. Because I heard we went to Woman Evolve, Dr. Anita was saying that like when we rest, that's when God starts to work. When we take our hand off of the thing, like ultimately we're taught that Monday is the beginning of the week. In actuality, Sunday is the beginning of the week. If you look at your calendar, it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday is the last day. And it's because God rested on the first day, and then everything else followed after that. And so while we are sleeping, while we are resting, He is working. And when she said that, I said, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna go to bed to let God do whatever He want to do. Because me working it with my hand, and like, yeah, anytime I try to do something in my might and my power, it done crumbled every time. It done crumbled every time. Every time, child.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, but through discernment, through having rest and having like being able to have a clear mind, you can't see what you need to see when your mind is racing at 100 miles per hour and you trying to think your way through a situation that God is really just asking you to, give to Him and really pray your way through and surrender your way through. Because that was what that moment was. It was a big moment of surrender. And from that moment of surrender, God honored me, and I honored what He said in that moment. And I've gotten to do some amazing things since then.
And we're gonna talk about them.
Let's
One
talk
thing I find really interesting, since we were talking about like rest. I can just only me. Lately, since I got in my car accident, I haven't gotten actual rest. And for the last, I don't know, maybe week. Yeah, it's almost been a week. I wake up at like 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and I'm just like up. And I don't know why. But this morning, child, let me tell you, this morning, I wake up, it's 4:50 in the morning, and I'm like, so hold on, let me reverse. Yesterday, I listened to a sermon by Mike Todd about death to distraction. And I'm like, I bet. I'm like, bet. That was amazing. Good word. To the point where I was like, all right, I feel like I need to delete my distractions, which is Instagram, Facebook. So I delete all the apps and stuff, and I'm kind of just like, all right, I'm here. So I wake up, I listen to the message, delete the apps. 4:50 in the morning, I wake up, and I'm like, I reach for my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have any of this stuff. So I, open Bible app. Got to do that first. See the scripture of the year, the scripture of the day, and it's talking about men make plans, but God holds all plans. I'm like, oh, because me and my fiance, we were talking about that last night about the business, and she's like, are these your plans or are these God's plans? And I was like, oh, these are my plans. And she's like, okay, well, you need to let that go. I'm like, no, because I dream big. I have massive, crazy faith. Anyway, anywho, 4:50, I wake up, reach my phone, look at the scripture. 4:52 rolls around. I'm like, I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm wide awake. I opened YouTube and I was watching some comedy thing. So I closed that. And the first video that pops up is Dr. Miles Monroe. And it says, what to do if you wake up between 3 and 5 a.m. every day. And I was like, huh? So I click it, I listen to it. And he was like, and dude, it's almost about to make me cry. He was like, when you wake up between 3 and 5 a.m. Consistently, it means the Lord's trying to tell you something. In between 3 and 5 a.m., it is when your body is at its peak of rest.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing going on in the world. Everything is very low key shut down. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, he's like, all you gotta do? He's like, read your Bible, pray, You know, if you're in bed, just lift your hands, worship the Father, tell him how good he is, be grateful, have gratitude, because he's going to tell you something. And when I say like, I was skeptical, but I was like, I'll do it. When I tell you, he told me to like pray today for people who were sick, because there's a bunch of people who like recently said that like their parents or friends or grandparents were sick. And I was just like, all right, I will mind, because he said in the video, if you ever led to pray for people, mind the gap, just stand in the gap. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And when I tell you, for the first time in a long, long time, I felt so close to the Father. I was like, oh, Adonai. Oh, yeah, I can feel you. Yeah. Grateful. Yes, it's Lord. Wild. So like you said, when he starts speaking, he'll speak through things or random YouTube videos at 4:50 in the morning.
At 4:50 in the morning. Child, he be waking me up too. I'll be like, you need to call back later.
And Dr. Miles Monroe said, do not go, if you wake up consistently for multiple days, don't go back to sleep. Like just sit, because don't go, because he's trying to tell you something.
Yeah, and we got to be like open to it. And like,
yes. It's before the distractions of the day happen, before any of the stuff happens.
Yeah. And my prayer when I wake up at 3 a.m. and 4, because it does happen very consistently. I'll be like, Lord, can you say this at 8? Can you say this? I'll be like, are you sure you want to talk right now? Okay, what you want to talk about, Stinkerbutt? Okay. Did we talk about, okay. Oh, amen. Can I? Okay.
Am I released to go back to sleep?
You know, without feeling conviction. Because I'm already not resting as it is. But I mean,
hey, I will say, I don't even know what time I turned over. I turned over and went to sleep and woke up at like 6:35, which is like the normal time I wake up. I woke up at 6:30 and I was like, oh. And I've had it up until this moment right now. I've had so much energy all day.
Oh, wow.
But now
it's happening.
It's late at night and now I'm getting tired.
The decline is happening, darling.
It is. So. But that's okay. That's okay.
Fine. It's fine because we almost done. What did
we almost done? We got to definitely talk about your journey in Hollywood. Like, how did that start? Like, how did you get the representation? Like, I mean, obviously we know it's a God thing, but like practically for those who are out there trying to pursue their acting dreams, like what advice could you give somebody who's out there who either is in Hollywood, who's like backstage, like, or like background artist or actress or actor, and they want to like take that step? Because I mean, you have been in Lifetime movies, and you were one of the main key artists and had a main role in a major CW TV show.
Thank you. I like that you painted it like that because I never felt like that. But yeah, I did. I've been truly blessed. I'll say that. It's funny that you say practically because there's nothing practical or linear about how anything has happened for me. And I feel like so many people who are like in my shoes will say the same thing. It is truly by God's grace and God's favor that I've been able to do the things that I've done. And there's no explanation for it but God. And that is what I will preface with. And along with that, I will say, like, with the pandemic, when everything shut down, I got like this like job working at a gym, whatever, and I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing it. But I remember when the pandemic hit, I was like, if I don't get to do what I love ever again, Lord, how can I like act? Like, how can I, do it? Because I was starting to have like a little bit of momentum. I had like met up with like some of my mentors when I graduated, and they had given me like a few opportunities to like go on like some open calls or whatever. But ultimately, me getting back into class was the number one thing that I feel like set me on the journey that I was on, and is my number one like advice to anyone. If you're looking for an agent, don't look for an agent. Look for an acting class. Don't look for representation. Look for an acting class because that's the first thing that they're going to ask you. They're going to say, "Hey, are you taking one? Awesome, nice headshot, nice reel. Are you in acting class?" And they're going to tell you to get into a class because they want you to be sharp and they want you to be up to date and always constantly working on your craft. And so for me, that's what I did. Like there were a couple of master classes that were happening. Um, with like Devon Franklin, Lena Waithe, Megan Good, some major casting directors who one of them ultimately, or not ultimately, one of them ended up being All American Homecoming's casting director. And so, of course, she didn't remember me when
Of
she saw my
course.
face, because like the masterclass was just like them. They didn't get to see who was all on there. But I remembered that moment of me being like, Lord, I'm going to treat this like my work. And if I don't get another opportunity to act again, let me just hear these testimonies from these people that like are major in our industry and take the nuggets with me. And if you give me the opportunity to get up out of this, I'm gonna use what you gave me. And sure enough, they ended up turning that class into an acting class that happened
Wow.
once a week on Zoom. And so I signed up for it. It was like $90 a month, whatever. And ended up taking that acting class every week, and that was my work.
Mm.
Like I was getting unemployment, so I was good, getting unemployment, so he was good, and that check. But I was in acting class, and again, we've heard Issa Rae say it, like it's not about the linear, like the vertical. It's about the horizontal, connecting across with your peers and all of those things. And so once I got into the acting class, there was a pivotal point where like we had to like prepare like a scene and do like a mock audition and stuff like that. And he had brought in this casting director that he was cool with. And I ended up doing a phenomenal job, and her and I were able to have an amazing conversation. Nothing came from that, but confirmation that that's what I was supposed to be doing
Yeah.
and that I was gifted to do it. And so, anyway, one of my homeboys from the class, he was like trying to hit me to, or, tell me what I needed to do as far as like casting websites and reels and all this other stuff that I could sign up for so that I could start doing commercials and just get little gigs here and there so I could piece together my reel so I could get representation. Because mind you, at this point, I had submitted everything that I had to every agency that I could in Dallas, but they were closed. Like it was shut down. We're in the pandemic. They're not taking
Yeah.
nobody.
Of
So,
course.
so I was just like, okay. He had told me how to do, sign up for the casting websites and stuff. I didn't listen the first time. 2 months later, I was like, you know what? I've had enough. It's time. And so I finally did it and I set it up and I got a new camera and all these things. And I remember I saw like this gig for $200 in Oklahoma for like 3 lines and then like a student film. Cause again, I'm just trying to get work so that I can, do
Fill out the real.
do the
Yeah.
real. I'm so sorry, y'all. My mother does not, I need to put her on my no list because even anyway, so I ended up, how do you actually even do that?
We'll
It's
talk about it later.
we'll talk about it later. Anyway, so I ended up, um, you know, putting up tapes for both of those things.
Mm.
One was for some random feature film at the time, and then the other was for a student film. Cool, whatever. Nailed it. Do it. I'm applying all of the lessons that I'm learning in my acting class to do a self tape. Because mind you, I'm theater trained. I graduated summa cum laude from Texas Tech University, my bachelor's of fine arts.
Rackham.
Reckham. Okay, Reckham. But theater and TV, television, like acting for the screen, completely different. Completely different. It's a completely different medium. And so I needed training in that. And so anyway, I was just like, I'm just gonna test it out, and see what happens and just keep cranking out these auditions. And so I did that. And long story short, um, ended up the director for the feature film with the 3 lines reached out to me because I didn't have representation. So they kept trying to get in contact with me. And she was like, we've been trying to contact you. I want to give you this role. I feel like it'll prove fruitful. Message me, tonight because they're trying to cast someone else.
Mm.
And I look at that email and I'm at my best friend's house and I was like, oh my God, like what? So I call her and I'm like, I call her and I'm like, I haven't gotten anything at all. Like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, it's so fine. We loved your tape. We want to have you come down to Oklahoma next Thursday. Can you be there? And I was like, heck yeah, sure. I need my car in the shop. I'm like, it's gonna be good by then. Like, we're gonna be solid by then. And so anyway, that next day, get the paperwork done, talk to the casting director. And then that Friday, I had a callback for the student film that I was doing. End up doing that callback while I'm there. I get a text from the director. She's like, hey, can you send me your self-tape? We might need to recast you, basically. And I was like, yeah, girl, I can resend it to you. Like, cool, whatever. And so as my mama get off my computer, you know, like stay ready. She have to get ready because my mama had to go. It was a lot that she had to do for me. But get the tape. And I ended up submitting it, you know, sending it to her. And she's like, yeah, if this doesn't work out or if the girl's test comes back positive, we're gonna have to bump you up to this role. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. I know, whatever. I don't know. So in the midst of that, find out that I got the student film and then get a call from her. And she's like, hey, we want to offer you this role for, dang, I don't even remember the girl's name now, but we want to offer you this role. And I'm like, sure, I'll take it. Like, whatever, like, cool. She was like, but you have to be in Oklahoma by tomorrow. And I was like, okay, my car in the shop. Let me call Yvette, call my mama. And so anyway, I'm speeding home. I'm super excited. I'm talking to the UPM, which is the unit production manager. And I'm like asking, I'm like, hey, so, and you know me, I'm very, very candid, very blunt.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, so, how much underwear do I need to pack? Because like, how long am I be here, right? Like, I'm thinking it's like 3 or 4 days, whatever. And he was like, this is like a principal role. Like, you're gonna be in Oklahoma for 2.5 weeks. I said, excuse me, what you talking about? And so basically, I had jumped like 10 spots.
Wow.
I was like, let's say number 13, 14, and I jumped to number 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah, purely off of that tape and her loving me, nothing else. And literally, that was my first feature film. I get there the next day, hotel taken care of, per diem, all that stuff. I had to read the script and all this. Like, it was a whirlwind. And had I not been in class, I would not have been prepared to be able to take on that load that quickly and shift gears. Because I went from 3 lines to 2.5 weeks. What? All based off of like a tape? Are you serious? Yeah. And so anyway, get on set, meeting everyone. And by the 3rd day, everyone is like, we don't understand how you don't have representation. Like, it's crazy. And I was like, I ain't got it. Like, they were closed, whatever. And so one of the guys in the film, God bless you, he's like, send me your stuff. I'm going to send it to my agent. He sends my stuff to his agent. His agent turns out to be one of the agencies I submitted all of my stuff to. Wow. And it's the same agent that is the agent of my mentor, who my mentor is trying to get me signed to. And literally I want to say that next day I drove back to Dallas because I was going back and forth to Oklahoma. Back and forth. And so I drive back to Dallas to meet with him and he signs me.
Wow.
He's like, cool. And then from there I got 2 more Lifetime movies, 3, 4, whatever, like that I ended up looking off. So I didn't start off with my agent. I didn't start off with a team. I started off with faith, the work God told me to do, and opportunity. Like that's it. And community. And I'm glad that it happened that way. I would have never been ready like I thought I was if I had not been in class. So that's what I tell people all the time, because I met my agent and that was, I don't even remember what month that was, but let's say that next January, because this is in the fall, that next January, he sends me an email and he's like, hey, do this self-tape real quick. Put yourself on tape for this. I'm going to send it to, these managers in LA.
Yeah.
Management. Meet with them. They're like, oh my gosh, love her. And they sign me. And then everything else just kind of spitballs from there. And I get, my agents that I had in New York and all these other things. And the agent that I had in New York is ultimately the person that, sent me the submission for Homecoming. Like, wow. Everything is tied together, but it's only because I took that random master class that turned into an acting class, and I listened to my friend. And it had nothing to do with like, like anything he told me, like that people can tell you about how to be in this business. Like they can only tell you from their experience, but everyone's journey is completely different. But the bare minimum is the bare minimum, the foundation on which you build it. And it all just came from the work that I was doing, the
Yeah.
work that I did, as far as being committed to the work. Because I was doing all types of commercials during that time with HEB, Snickers, like mint dentistry,
Yeah.
whatever. Like I was doing all these things, just like hustling, trying to get as close to the thing as I could. I even did what is it? The DCDC or DCCC, the college, El
Oh
Centro.
yeah. El
Child,
Centro.
what? And I was in all types of commercials and stuff, just hustling, but I stayed in class. I'm even in class to this day, like to this day, not the same class,
Sure.
but another acting class, because that's what the work really is. Like when
Yeah.
I be on TV, when I get to book a movie, like that's just the cherry on top. But the work, like me being curious, me wanting to grow my artistry, me wanting to be versatile and not just do one thing, and not just exist in like this one genre of, comedy or drama,
Yeah.
like stretching myself and really pouring and investing into my work. That's the thing that I tell people all the time. And until like people be like, I remember I met this girl in Walmart, fan of the show. She asked me the same thing. And you can just see how people get so like discouraged. But she was like, I gave her the spiel I just gave you. And she was like, yeah, I met with them and they said the same thing, but I just thought they didn't know what they were talking about. And I was like, who'd you meet with? And it was my agent. And I was like, no, he knows exactly what he's talking about. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to get in class. It's not what you want to hear, but it's what you need to do.
Of
And
course.
and if you're not willing, what I tell people all the time, if you're not willing to like be in class for 2 years and not have any type of reward from it, but just solely being in class and growing as an artist, this ain't what you need to do. You don't need to do
Mm.
this. You don't need to do this.
That's fascinating. A few, I don't remember how many episodes now, but episode 5 of this podcast is with my friend Jesselyn Wanlim. She was on the show Working Moms on Netflix. She's amazing. I love her so much. But she was saying that she's had a very long drought of work. Like it for her. I mean, she lives in Nashville, but she has, I think she said it was 2 years where she just had inconsistent bookings. She would do voiceover. She would audition for this, for that. Her representation in LA would, they would give her everything. And like she tells the story at once of her being fired from Big Bang Theory at the height of the show. She tells the story that some people think that she was lying. I don't think she was lying, but she said she got the role. Then she ended up going to the table read. Chuck Lorre didn't like what she was wearing or whatever, but she was fired that day, first day. But she was saying that she finds it hard because she does real estate as well in Nashville. She finds it hard to just exist in that world of just, because you have to find something to supplement. I mean, luckily you're young and you have ample things that you can do, commercials, but she has a family and, it's just, it's different situations. Luckily, we talked the other day, she has a Netflix. She has a little small cameo on Netflix and the new Mindy Kaling show with whatever, Kate Hudson. So
period.
Yes.
It's awesome. And I mean, it is a long game. Like it's a marathon. And let me tell you something, every day that I would go to work at that job that I did not like before the pandemic, I would listen to Nipsey Hussle and I would have dedication on repeat. He's like, dedication, hard work plus patience. And I had to be up at 3:00 in the morning.
Absolutely not.
So I could be at work at 4:20 in the morning. My mama hated that job. She hated that I had that job and that she even told me about the job. But I would be up every morning and I would tell myself, I'm literally doing this because there's gonna come a time, like I said, when I gotta be on set at X, Y, and Z time in the morning.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna keep listening to dedication because it's all I'm gonna serve this season well. I'm serving, I'm serving, I'm sowing, I'm serving. And sure enough, that's what I had to do. Like there was a night that we pulled a overnighter and like I
Wow.
wasn't leaving set until 5 o'clock in the morning or even
Woo.
I would have to be on set at 5:15 in the morning because like I know I got a lot of her. Like child, and every time I remember those moments and I'm like, wow, God, you prepared me for this. And had I not stewarded that season well, I wouldn't have known how to handle this right now. I would be moaning, I'd be groaning, I'd be complaining. I wouldn't be built for it, but I'm built for it. And
Yeah.
um, God never gives, and I mean, it's not a scripture, but God truly does not give us more than we can bear. And He's not going to put you in or give you anything that number one, you can't handle. And number two, you aren't going to be able to steward well in his name. Because God forbid he bless you and then you cut a fool representing him. Uh-uh.
Facts.
Absolutely not. He will never do that. And so I'm grateful that, you know, I'm grateful for the droughts. I'm grateful for um, especially during with the strike. I know
Mhm.
people still have not worked to this day. I was blessed to get to be able to be in season 3, but like budgets have been cut across the board with a lot of studios and all these things that are happening right now with our industry, even with the fires, like Lord Jesus. And so I've been blessed to still be able to do what I loved, but it comes with those seasons and with those droughts. But during those seasons, that's when like you really see who's built for it and who's not,
For sure.
who, you know, who wants to stick it out for the right reasons, not just to like be famous or be on TV, but like because you actually want to create like
Yeah.
work, impact, or whatever people's reason is. Don't get me wrong, the money is nice. But if I wanted to make money, I would be a lawyer like my father begs me
Hey.
to be all the time. And I'm not doing that. But I'm doing this because God called me to. And there's a dedication and a tenacity that comes to it. And it's not that work starts before you even get on set, before you even book the gig. That's a
Yeah.
mindset that you have to have. So yeah. Yes, child.
Mm. That's a lot.
I
But
know I
that's
said a lot.
but I think that's like I think honestly that's one of the best ways to wrap this thing up is
Yeah.
just, I mean, dude, I could talk we could talk hours, but you don't
Because
feel well.
I don't. I'm like, I don't.
I hear you keep sniffling. I'm like, oh.
I know I'm like, ugh, I hope it don't come up in the mic. Ugh.
um anything else you just want to tell the people? Just let them know like about this journey. I mean, obviously, go to acting class. If you an actress or you want to be an actress, go to acting class.
Yeah.
Go to class. Do it. Put in the work. Do the hard stuff. We were made to do hard things.
We were, and don't tell yourself otherwise. Like, don't tell yourself what you can and cannot do. Um, sorry, my ears needed to pop. Mm. But yeah, it truly is a marathon. Like, it is a mentality that like you have to have and that you build. I think I'm in this season of life right now where like I can say I've done all the things that I've said I wanted to do, right? Like, don't get me, it's far from over, like
Of course.
I'm still building my legacy. Um and I'm super excited for all the things that like God has in store, whatever those things are. But if I'm not taking care of myself, if I'm not taking care of my mental, if I'm not doing the foundational work that I need to do, then when God does give it to me, I'm not going to know what to do with it. Like you can't ask to be thrown in the ring, but have never shown up to the gym. Like you can't, you don't get to skip steps. It's all going to happen as it's supposed to. I think that we like things to be microwave now, obviously,
Of
because of
course.
social media, because we can take a lot of things into our hands. And you can make your own short film. You can make your own whatever. Like, but I think it's easy, like you learn a lot about yourself and why you want to do it. Like I remember the first thing that I got out of college was a short film that one of my other mentors, got me an audition for. And, I didn't think anything of it, but I was like, I just want to work. I just want to work.
Yeah.
I want to tell stories. I want to act and I want to work. And we filmed it right here at my house.
Love that.
It won, some short film awards. Like it was wonderful. But that was like a taste of it. And I had to ask myself, and they asked me, they were like, because it was grueling. It was grueling just a little bit. But they were like, after this, you're gonna know whether or not this is what you want to do. Because if you can't do the things that aren't glamorous, that aren't gonna get you to the Oscar, that aren't gonna get you, the interviews and all the other things, then ask yourself if this is really what you want to do. And so um I'm now to the point where I've gotten to do a lot of really great things, and I have a lot of like artistic control in a way that I'm excited about. Like there are a lot of things that you're not going to see me do. There might be some things that you do see me doing. You like, hold up. Hold up. But I get to make that choice, and it's not just about like, being hungry for every opportunity. It's about being very specific about what God is, the story that he's trying to tell through my life. So anyway, I would just say, really having your relationship with God, having a relationship with yourself, not just like the big sparkly thing is always going to be there. It's always going to be there. And you can do it. Like I hate hearing people that settle for their life because they're like, well, it was so hard. And I don't have a support system and do whatever. And I'm like, listen, you'd have gone back to that man about 50, 11 times.
Dang.
With no guarantee. And you want to tell me you're making excuses for your dream?
Dang.
For your dream?
For your dreams?
You had somebody play in your face? Like, you can't put your neck on the line and risk some uncertainty for your dream? I guess you don't want it. As bad as that man or that person. Or whatever, someone's thing is. Of course. Like honestly, like even with this, like as horrible as I feel, I was like, no, like I have to steward everything that God gives me. Well, if I got a call that I had to be on set and I felt the way that I did, I would do what I needed to do. So let's make it happen, and that's the mentality that you like. There's a difference between excuses and like actual, reasons why you cannot do something.
Sure.
Because two things can exist at the same time. Stop making excuses. Just do it. Just go for it. Yes, it's going to be scary. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, and you don't know what's going to pop and what's not going to. That they talk about that in Ecclesiastes. In Ecclesiastes 11, one of them, it says, sow in the morning and sow at night, because you don't know which thing will prosper. You don't know. So if God has put something on your heart, serve it well and serve it in the mundane. Serve those people in the mundane. You don't know what you're going to learn. You don't know what you're going to pick up. I'm so grateful that I got to be a part of Homecoming in the way that I got to be a part of it, even, though it was just like a recur, because I got to watch the dedication of the people that were series regulars, of like Jeffrey and Mitchell and Sylvester and all of them, like, and Peyton, like, and Kelly. Oh my gosh, like what? I got to watch, and Netta, like I got to watch their commitment and the fire that they had to like work under and the pressure that they had to work under. And it made me be like, okay, Lord, I know why you ain't give me no series regular, because you said I got to do that and I got to do, You're right. You're right. Keep molding me. Keep making me. Keep pruning the things out of me that are not going to serve where you want me to go, God, during this time, during this in between. And so that's what I would say. And just last nugget, always just do the next right thing. Do the next right thing. There are so many times, like you said, Byron, we think about the big picture and all the big goals and stuff, and that's all great. Have those. Just do the next right thing, whatever that is. Sometimes it's just, like you said, if God wake you up in the morning at 3 a.m., talking to him. Sometimes it's, did you eat today? Sometimes it's calling that connect that you have. Sometimes it's serving your church. Sometimes it's, just cleaning your car. Like, do the next right thing and the last thing that God told you to do. And that will make room for more. Use what's in your hand. You ain't got to get all this equipment and do this and take this fancy class and whatever. Like, do the next right thing. And sometimes that's small, and let that be enough. Yeah, let that be enough. Because
I
it'll lead
love
you.
that.
So, yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. Do the next right thing. It's so simple. It's so simple.
A lot of this is very simple. Very, very simple. Because the little things build up to the big things.
There you go. Two last questions, because I thought of them while you were talking. You said, I don't know how many times, you mentioned the word mentor. Do you believe that mentorship is important?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think mentorship is very pivotal. Not everybody's supposed to be like your physical mentor. Like some mentors, I heard this on something, like some mentors are like people that you admire from afar. Like in my head, Auntie Tab is my mentor in my head,
Yeah.
Like I haven't met her yet, but she's someone that I'm like, I see what she's doing and I can learn from afar. But as far as the mentors that I do have in my life, which are like, it's 3 of them, 2 Black women and then 1 Black man. They've been very pivotal in my life. And it's not in them giving me opportunities, even though they have done that. Sometimes it's them, getting on my behind and being like, what you doing?
Yeah.
I don't think we should do that. Or them encouraging me, or them like stopping me from overthinking something that I want to start, like, and just being like, just do it. Just do it, girl. Just like they simplify a lot of things for me. And I feel like even mentorship doesn't look like how we think that it should. Like mentorship is very it's a wide variation of what it can be like for you. But I benefited so much from my mentors, Miss Elitarius, who has an amazing podcast called Miss Dear Future Wifey. But before that, he was a playwright and all this other stuff. Mia, phenomenal actress. Dr. Parker, she was my first and only Black professor at Texas Tech University that taught me how to use my words, that gave me the language that I needed to be able to call out things that were happening with systematic oppression at our school and things that I will ultimately deal with in this industry. And so they have all given me different things in different seasons of my life. But above all else, they've just been there, when I needed them. They didn't necessarily always have the answers. Like they couldn't have given me a blueprint for what I was doing right now. But it was in the simplicity of things that they said and me taking heed to it and doing it. No one's going to do the work for you. Don't think you'll get a mentor and like they're going to do whatever. Like one thing, Mia, one of our mentors that she did when I met up with her and her husband, because they're both work actors. They're both working actors, business, language. She was like, all right, I'm gonna put your money where your mouth is. I'm gonna put your money where your mouth is. And she sent me out on 2 different auditions. One of those things I did phenomenal with, but like I like almost booked it. And the other one, like I didn't, but she just wanted to know that I was gonna show up.
Okay.
She just wanted to know that I was gonna be willing to put the, the work in, even for the unglamorous thing.
Sure.
Yeah. And that fostered our relationship for me to be able to do the short film with her and all this other stuff. Like she was able to vouch for me. And I learned so much just from her tenacity with the business when I needed to get advice about if I should choose this agent or that agent. I called her, say, hey, what are some things that you wish that you would have done different? Like having questions as well. Knowing what you want is so important when it comes to mentorship. Because don't just be wanting to mentor and you don't know what you want to do. They can't tell you what to do, girl. Like they can't tell you. You got to know. You have to know, what you need.
Yeah.
And put a name to that. And they can help you do that. But it has been so pivotal. And I'm so grateful to every single person that's had a hand in my life in ways that you cannot even imagine.
Mentorship is important, people.
Yes.
Get you a mentor.
Get you a mentor.
Last question has to do with fame, because you mentioned fame when you were talking a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that fame, I know a lot of people get into going to Hollywood for the fame.
Yeah.
My personal take on fame, I would hate to be famous. Well known, I would rather be like moderately well known as like a solid, very good, caring businessman. I don't need to be Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. That's too much. I don't need.
Absolutely
No.
not. I don't want to be that man as well.
No, but like well known, like Bernard, who runs Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy, Bernard Arialt, or I think that's his name. But yeah, something like that. Where just leave me alone. But I got billions of dollars, billionaire Byron.
Yes.
But do you think that fame plays a pivotal role in people, in their desires to want to be famous? Because you see people do the most obscene things just to be famous, a la a Haktua, or that girl who in Florida like was trying to make out with a cop when she was drunk and arrested for DUI. And she was on, I saw her on TMZ and she was like, I'm just like Haktua. Like, that's not the aspiring thing that we want to be.
I don't even know who that man is. Sorry to that man.
Sorry, cop guy, but yeah, I don't know what that lady is, but
yes.
Yeah. But I mean, do you think fame really plays a pivotal, I mean, especially in today's society, everybody wants to be famous. Because they see what comes with being famous. I think fame is stupid.
They think they know what comes with being famous. They think they know what comes with being well known. There is a responsibility and a burden that comes with, being famous and even well known, especially when you think about why you want to be well known. Do I want to be well known and famous because I had a great impact on people's lives because of the work that I'm doing, or because I could shake my behind and fight on the TV or cuss people out very fluently, which is great, still a wonderful talent, but it's like when you get that fame, what are you doing with that fame? What impact are you having with that? And I think that honestly, because of social media, because of streaming, like the idea of fame is literally like it is fading away. Like it has evolved into something that is so much more obtainable. Like when you have influencers, they're famous, they're well known. Like there are people that have like 100 million followers, and I have no idea who those people are. But they reach that hemisphere. And so now everyone can be famous. Everyone can touch it, like it's not something that's this like prized possession that like we used to have, like it was back in the day, which is why like you can be a series regular on a show and no one have ever seen it. No one's ever seen it. No one ever knows like what you're talking about. And so then that's when you have people that are like, oh, I'm just going to like do some outlandish stuff because the markers kind of changed. So let me like get famous because of this. But then you get famous and then what? But again, I go back to like the responsibility of it. Like you have to be very mindful of the choices that you make. Like I can't be on here acting all willy-nilly, doing whatever I want to do, because there are people that are like, wait, aren't you that girl from, aren't you a part of this organization? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be, or even when it came to like my YouTube channel that I have, part of the thing that I got trapped in was that I wasn't doing it to become a Christian influencer at all. I don't want that title at all. I love the Lord. He heard my cry, but I did not want that title because of the burden that comes with it. And the responsibility that then comes with being well known. There is an expectation that is then there that you have to meet, and not everyone can handle that. And then you have to be okay with like your privacy being snatched from you. Like, child, I was at the urgent care today, and I know that lady recognized me from the show. I know she was like, I know you from somewhere. And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, were you here last week? I said, She said, well, never mind. I just heard her say, never mind, because you don't even know my business. You know my business. Or like even my wax lady, because I be getting my waxes done. Like there are just some places you don't want to be regular in, because you just want to be yourself. You just want to have a good time. Of course. If I'm with my family, if I'm with my cousins, like we like to have a good time. And then you see someone come up to you. Now there is a standard that you set that you have to live up to 24/7. And that is a lot. And that's what people don't realize, comes with fame, and why like Like even Michael Jordan said it because I love watching The Last Dance. I watched it once a month since it's come
Wow.
out. I work out to it. I know that thing backward and forward. But he said he wouldn't wish that on anybody. He would not wish fame on anybody because your time is like not your own and you have to be on all the time. So when people say they want to be famous, I'm always like, okay, what do you like? Do you want to be famous or do you want to do good work?
Right.
And make that work be well known because of the impact that it's had on other people's lives.
Mm.
Think about why you really want it because do you know what comes with that? Are you ready
Yeah.
for what comes with that? You know? Yeah. Cause then you have to grow up in like the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that even though I am well known right now, known by enough, I'm glad that I'm not where I ever prayed, I wanted to be just yet, even though in Jesus' name I'll be there, sure. Because there are a lot of things that I failed at that I've gotten wrong that if I was in the public eye would have been so catastrophic to my career and to my image. And God has allowed me this time to be able to work out those kinks in private. So then when he does bless me with that platform, I'll know what to do with it. I'll know why. Oh, I'm famous not because I was shaking my behind on reality TV or because I went on whatever and this, that, and the third, but
Yeah.
because I did in a phenomenal project that you fell in love with for a character that meant so much to you. That means so much to me. Work that I can be proud of, So that's what I would say to that. Don't aim for fame because she is here today and gone tomorrow. There's so many people that were famous
Mm-hmm.
and ain't doing nothing now. So
Nope. Everybody's got a ticking time bomb.
everybody got a ticking time bomb. Like what?
Everybody got it. It's crazy. Well,
Yeah, it is.
I think that's a great place. Now, finally, we have ended this. For all the people who want to support you, tell the good people what you got coming up, where they can follow you, just everything.
Well, if the band don't get lifted again, I'm kidding. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter. I don't call it X. I don't even tweet, but I'm there. TikTok. What else? YouTube. I'm so excited that I am getting to get back to like my passion project and like my purpose work and like getting to connect with people on YouTube. So you can follow me on my YouTube channel, Miss Heather Harris. And you can watch All American Homecoming.
Hey,
All 3 seasons on Netflix, even though it is canceled. You can still watch support the girls and the guys and give us a little residual every now and then. And I do have a project that I can't talk about that's going to be coming out in 2026. I'm really excited about that. Super excited about that. And anything else is in God's hands. And he ain't told me yet. It's a surprise.
There you go.
It's a surprise.
Your socials handles it's just Heather Harris, right?
Yeah. Heather Harris. You can find me easily.
Simple. Easy. Just like
simple.
that.
Just like that.
Heather Harris, I really appreciate you. I love you. I am so grateful. This was an amazing conversation.
I know. It blessed me. I'm glad that I only sneezed twice.
Sniffled a few times, but hey, that's it.
That's it.
Get through it, people. Her phone dinged twice too. It's all right.
No, it's my mother, Lord Jesus.
We love you, Mama Harris.
She didn't get the memo in the email. They forgot to send the email out. Someone forgot to send the email and I have to fuss at them. So forgive me.
Boo.
Boo. We're understaffed.
They understaffed, but they on the way.
Period. In Jesus' name. I've had some fun. Thank you for having me, friend.
Me too. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Everybody, I will see you next week. All right? Period. Peace.
Peace out.